All right, this is our next episode of True Wrestling Fans Discussions, considering our Saturday night's main event review series. We'll be going over Saturday night's main event four. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, and let's get into this. January 1986. Well, technically December 19th, 1985, but they aired it January 4th, 1986. So technically this is the first one of the new year in Tampa, Florida. It was a pretty okay card. It had 5 matches on it. WWE Championship match, obviously, is always going to be on there. Can't have Saturday Night Main Event without Hulkamania. The opening match to this, I was wondering if we were going to see this again. And remember, I've seen these Saturday Night Main Events 30 some odd years ago, so this was kind of a flashback to me now, watching it now. You get the 6-man tag team match. You get Roddy Piper, Cowboy Ace Bob Orton, and Jesse the Body Ventura
Yep.
versus Hillbilly Jim, Cousin Luke, and Uncle Elmer.
Yeah,
This is all steaming from the summer when they had Uncle Elmer's wedding on Saturday Night.
right. And you know what was cool about this? And Jesse pointed out, he's like, yeah, I'm the first. Whether it's true or not, it still sounds good. He's like, I'm the first announcer to get into the ring, even though he was a wrestler before that.
And back up what he says.
Back up what he says. Because, the announcers were always known for mouthing off, but they never got in the ring, And so, at least unto that point, really.
Yeah.
So it was cool that he talked all of that stuff, and then he got in the ring to fight. So credit to him. That was cool. I like that. I like that.
And he still looked pretty good. His career was winding down at that point. He was transitioning, but he still had the look. So my hat off to him. He looked good. He looked good in the ring. The match was fairly decent. I mean, you had your entertainment. The whatchamacallits, farmers. They got their semi revenge. Yeah. 8-minute match even on the dot. Piper, Ventura, and Orton get the victory, obviously, because you can't have the farmers getting over on the hottest heel right now in the WWE. And especially going into, I guess you could say that they were on the road to WrestleMania at that point, their version in '86. So I thought it was a pretty good match, good outcome. And again, like you said, Jesse Ventura looked pretty good. Our next match for the WWE Championship was Hulk Hogan versus Terry Funk.
Yep.
Terry Funk before FMW.
Yeah.
This is just crazy Terry Funk, not suicidal Funk. With Jimmy Hart in his corner and JYD in Hogan's corner.
Yeah, he had some backup. Hogan had backup this time.
Well, if you looked over the summer in '85, Funk was known for him and Hart were branding their opponents.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Funk came into the WWE, he had his eye on the prize. He had his eye on Hogan. So we finally get the match between the two. It was a pretty good match. Obviously, Funk is not going to get over on Hogan in any way. It was a shame that Funk didn't stay in the WWE long. I think this was through '86. He was there. That was pretty much it.
He was a good heel.
He played it off pretty good. Hart as his manager worked. The whole branding iron story worked. When they branded Hogan, which I thought was funny because they didn't technically brand him, but whatever. So the match was pretty good. 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Hogan gets the victory on Funk. The only thing I didn't like about this match was the finish. No big boot, no leg drop. Here's a clothesline and I get a 1, 2, 3 count. That's a Survivor Series finish.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a little cheesy in my opinion.
Did you notice? Did you notice Hogan had the blue on?
Yeah, it looks pretty good on him too.
That's the blue that he used in No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
I got another fact for you. Did you see who the referee was in this?
What was that?
Dean Malenko.
A young Dean Malenko.
A young Dean Malenko. Yeah. And I did a double take, and I'm like, no, that can't be him. Our next match on the card following this one was George the Animal Steele, fresh off of his desertion of the Detroit Zoo, and when Gene Okerlund found him, versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. And this would actually become a full-length feud because they take this all the way to WrestleMania eventually for the title. Again, Randy Savage looked great. I thought this feud was a little beneath him. I thought the antics of George the Animal Steele during this match were funny.
With Elizabeth?
Yeah, this is where he started having the hots for her, which I thought she didn't know what to do with him. It looked like she was going to pet him at one point. But I don't know. I didn't care for this feud going into WrestleMania 2. There was a lot of things we didn't care about going into WrestleMania 2. It was a 4 minute, 6 second match. Savage gets the victory on this. This was pretty. This was like a squash match
Yeah.
almost. But Savage looked great. You know, we're going to be critiquing plenty of his main event matches going forward here. But again, yeah, this feud I just wasn't for me. The next match on the card was a peace match. Okay. It was Corporal Kirshner versus Nikolai Volkov. And Kirshner, he had the look.
He did have the look.
The knockoff Sergeant Slaughter thing.
Yeah.
But just didn't do nothing with him after this feud.
Yeah, I mean, he's only in that position because Slaughter got fired. Well, Slaughter left, however, depending on
whatever you want to do.
Whatever. He wanted to go do G.I. Joe, which was a smart move because he made a lot of money. But,
exactly.
So that's why he was in that position. He was basically a rip-off Sergeant Slaughter, but he did have the look. You know what's funny? Years later, WWE said that he died, but he didn't die. And his mother had to like contact WWE and let them know, like, my son's not dead, he's alive. It's just somebody had his same name, and this is like 2006 or something like that. This happened.
Yeah, they really got their eye on the ball, don't they?
He wasn't dead.
They don't even know when these guys are living or dying. Yeah. They don't know when their contracts are expiring. They're doing really good.
Yeah, I thought the promo with Ventura was okay though when he was training.
Yeah,
as a kid, you're into stuff like that though. It's a little stupid now, but
is it me or did it look like Ventura was wearing a tutu there? With
yeah, it was weird.
I mean, that boy's got some weird sense and fashion. I'll tell you that much. But in any event, Nikolai Volkov gets the victory over Kirshner in the peace match, which looked like a regular match. Which I don't. Okay.
Whatever.
It is what it is. But you know, they had a good feud going forward through '86, but again after that it was like, okay, now we got Kurt. What else are we going to do with him? There was nothing else. Mm-hmm. The main event of the evening, I actually liked this match because it came off of that the previous Saturday night main event when we saw Ricky Steamboat versus Mr. Fuji.
Mm-hmm.
This was Junkyard Dog and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus the Magnificent Morocco and Mr. Fuji. You got two guys that are well in their prime, look really great. Morocco just looks fabulous. Why that man was never pushed, I have no idea.
Well, he was pretty bad on the mic.
That's where you had Fuji.
Yeah.
And eventually later on you had superstar Billy Graham, who was excellent on the microphone. So, I mean, you give him a manager, you don't have to put the mic in his hand. He's got the look. I mean, he's a former Intercontinental Champion, so they at least gave him that. And, of course, you have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, one of the greatest. Junkyard Dog, one of my favorites. And then you got Fuji, one of the most devious managers. So I really like this match.
That was cool.
5 minute, 19 second. Unfortunately, it was short. But then again, for Saturday night main event, they are short.
Yeah, it's only an hour anyway.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. JYD and Steamboat get the victory. The feud obviously isn't over from what we saw during this. So, I mean, this definitely looks like there's going to be more to come there. So, I mean, overall, this Saturday night main event was pretty good. Again, you know, it's a progress. They'll get better. We got, you got Warrior coming. You got a lot of guys coming that are going to be into this.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
This one was I like the Hogan Funk match. That was and then Savage, again, like I said, the peak of his physical condition, he looked pretty good too.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that's our review of Saturday night's main event 4. We'll be continuing Saturday night's main event. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. See you guys soon.
Take care, guys.